How are we doing, Highway Rivals family? Back today with episode 9. Got a bunch of movement as far as Louisville basketball goes. Got some scheduling changes, some new series added to the schedule this year. Didn't really see much from Kentucky as far as moving around, but we'll get to that. I want to hit on the NBA games that we've seen past couple days, along with the predictions of tonight. Nate, how we feeling to be here today?
Feel great. We got a lot of NBA to cover. Of course, some schedule changes with basketball. So, T-Flow, how's it feel to be back?
Feels good to be back. Back again. We're going to talk about a little bit with Louisville and Kentucky with the basketball game.
Bro. Stand up. Show him your shirt. Show him your shirt.
What's up?
Bill versus everybody, baby.
Yeah,
he brought the energy today, Nate. He brought the energy today.
We're going to talk about NBA too, and, I'm just excited to be here. So,
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, first, we're going to stay in the state with Louisville. We'll hit on the fact that the basketball game, rivalry week, bit bigger than the football game, I would say. Got moved to November 11th, which is even before the football game.
It's on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday, middle of the week. Bit of a weird thing. I kind of see why, but I'll get to that in a second. Nate, as a UK fan, how do you feel the game being moved to so early in the year?
I'm not happy about it. It's way too early. It's before our football game. I mean, Kentucky football plays Florida 3 days before we play y'all in basketball. So
That's crazy.
And, not only that, it's just, football is prime time right then and there. Everybody's focused on football. And we're going to have a big-ass rivalry game, third game of the year, this early. I don't like it. It doesn't set right.
I definitely understand where you're coming from with that. T-Flow, kind of the same question, though. How do you feel that it's basically going to be our third basketball game of the year that we're playing Kentucky?
I mean, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I don't know if it's for ratings or not. I don't really like it just because, I've always liked it, being in December around Christmas, getting around with the family, watching the game. That's always been a big thing. It's going to be kind of weird to watch it on a Tuesday in November, It just doesn't sound right to me, honestly.
Yeah.
I guess it's a good thing for Louisville and Kentucky for viewership. I don't know. What do you all think?
I think when you're the athletic director of both of these schools, this was probably the best thing you could have done as far as viewership. We're going to be probably the highest ranked matchup in basketball at that point in the year. As far as early in the year when it comes to those basically pre-conference
because I don't know what it looks like before that, who we play and who Kentucky plays.
Well, we're probably going to play 2 mid-majors. They'll probably play a couple mid-majors.
You got a few good games before.
Who do y'all got?
One. We should play we play a mid-major, and then the second game of the year is Michigan State.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one.
And then right after we play y'all, we turn around and play somebody else who's good. I can't remember who exactly, but
it's going to be tough, I think, for us to come into that match undefeated, but that'd be awesome. It'd drive it even more.
Same for us.
If you're an athletic director, this makes sense, though. It's going to bring more money because we play – usually when we're playing our basketball game, other rivalry teams are also playing their basketball game.
That's
Carolina.
True, yeah.
So we're going to be an outlier in that sense. As far as it being smack dab in the middle of the bulk of football season, I don't like that at all. There's going to be a lack of focus as the game is approaching. I think the game will do numbers no matter what. But as far as the attention, the momentum, kind of the idea of that game that brings in, it's not going to be the same. I mean, it's usually a week right before Christmas. So, I mean, I don't really know how to feel about it other than the fact that I know that it's going to bring in more money.
I don't know for Kentucky fans, but I think around that time for Louisville fans, it's going to be a good time, Think about it. If we're doing good in football, I think we are, and, we have a good team coming in for basketball, I think it'd be a really exciting time for us. So,
I mean, it could be a good time for us in a way for basketball be coming around because we don't know what football is going to look like. I'm scared of our first game of the season. We play Ohio, best team in the MAC. If we don't win that game, our fan base is going to be out on the football team immediately.
Yeah.
One more thing.
Y'all are going to win that game.
Got to win that game.
You're going to win that game.
Not to get off topic, but Otega Owe, he had an interview yesterday with the Portland Trailblazers during a workout.
Really?
And, so he was saying, he's both feet in with the draft process. He said, the only way he doesn't pursue the NBA if he's not a first-round pick. But right now, he's the last pick of the second round. Of course, after the combine, that could change. So we'll see what happens there. But I just wanted to throw that in there and see how y'all feel about that too.
I don't think he's an NBA player until he fixes his jump shot. I've told you that before, though. He does everything else great, though. He rebounds well for a 6'4", 6'5" guard, physical. I'm trying to think of who he even plays like, because he's not even like – he doesn't play like Russell Westbrook, but it's like that type of prototype, if that makes sense.
He provides the NBA physicality, that's for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, a great example right now is the Celtics' philosophy, especially the last 2 games that we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And if that rears its ugly head, which I would hate to see for the rest of the teams in the NBA, and that starts to become everyone's approach, players like Otega Oweh are not playable. You can't put them on the floor if you're not a 36 to 40% three-point shooter.
I understand that, but I think, it depends on where he gets drafted, who he gets drafted by. It's like, I think obviously the NBA is more focused on the three-point shooting and the three ball, obviously. But, I mean, you look at some of these teams, like I think the Nuggets, they still shoot a lot of threes, but they can still really dominate in the paint as well and get real physical.
Well, not everyone has Nikola Jokic.
Well, and they also have Russ off the bench. They have Aaron Gordon, another physical guy. They got Michael Porter. I know he only shoots, but he can still get to the basket, So,
yeah.
I will say, I mean, I'll look at it as if he has a good workout, a team could take a chance on him, develop his jump shot this offseason.
That's what he needs the most.
Into the summer league, and then he could get drafted. I could see that 100%. I hope he comes back for another year, but then if he doesn't, it kind of makes you feel a little bit different about our team coming in next year.
100%, because he's definitely projected to be y'all's best player. And then if he's in the draft process or he's, like you said, 2 feet into getting drafted, I don't know what that team that looks like, really. I really don't, because going into next year, the only thing we really need to worry about in that November 11th matchup is can you neutralize him getting to the basket.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we're worried about playing against you guys.
I don't know. We have a lot of talent. This team's going to be different, but we have a couple returners that are going to progress a lot from last year.
Here's what I was thinking, though, with the game being so early, is JQ going to be ready to play for you?
That's another thing.
That's another thing you have to think about.
No,
so
that's true.
you're throwing in either that guy from Miami, Ohio, or Brandon Garrison in this situation. And now it's like –
You're not, though. I mean, you guys got to realize we're 12 deep right now without Oweh, 13
So
deep.
who else is playing over
there's
Garrison?
you can say you're 12 deep, but that's never a reality for any team ever. So the max you're going is 10 deep every game.
True. But we have 10
So
guys.
if you lose Oweh, you're adding a 10th player, if you even do, where he wasn't
for sure,
originally supposed to even be playing.
We'll see. I don't know. I still
Here's
feel
my
very
theory,
confident.
though. With Lamar Wilkinson going to Indiana, I think that's like a big sway for they want Oweh to come back bad. Like, it's like you come back. I think he comes back. He'll be a first-team SEC player. Like, his draft stock will rise a whole bunch if he comes back. I think if he has another year in college, I think it'll be a lot better for him.
I don't think Otega Oweh cares about Lamar Wilkerson because he was started.
No, and I don't think so either. But I'm just
But
saying.
that could be a good point. Staying with Louisville, we saw Pat Kelsey, Josh Hurd schedule a 6-year series with Memphis and Penny Hardaway's teams. I'm really excited for this. I'll get to how I feel about it in a second, though. As my fellow Louisville fan, are you excited to see us get a good ESPN game, non-con game?
No, absolutely. I think back in the early 2000s, this matchup was a
huge.
A very heavily anticipated matchup, especially with Calipari being at Memphis at that time too.
Yeah.
It was really interesting, and I think after that with all the Louisville and Kentucky matchups through that era after the early 2000s, it just carried on. But then we stopped playing Memphis, and that rivalry
we
just
moved
kind
conferences,
of died out. And obviously when you move conferences, that changes who you play. But I just really like to see these series in basketball because I think it's good for the program. I think it's good just for the sport in general. Just to have more rivalries, it's more exciting, and I think it grabs people's attention. So,
as Nate, as someone who doesn't really have a dog in the fight here, how do you feel seeing Louisville try to schedule these higher caliber matchups? We've obviously got you guys, Indiana, Memphis is added to the slate.
St. John's
is added to the slate, along with the ACC schedule that I know you guys are down on, but it'll be Duke, Carolina. How do you feel about Pat Kelsey, Josh Hurd scheduling these high caliber matchups?
Y'all need it. I mean, that was evident last year.
Yeah.
Especially if the ACC can't perform.
Absolutely.
I mean, y'all really need it. So we'll see. I feel like the ACC can't be as bad as they were last year. I feel like it'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
I don't know how good, I don't know how good it will be. I know there's some teams that have made some moves, got some good rosters on paper.
UNC will be better. I have a good feeling.
Yeah.
Duke's going to be just as good.
Yeah.
I would say. Obviously minus Cooper Flag.
I don't know. I think the ACC is bound to be a more equal conference in a way. The bad teams won't be as bad as they were.
Miami's going to be better.
Miami's going to be a lot better. Jai Lucas, shout out.
They finally put money into the program, and I hope they turn it around because they were a good basketball program at one point.
Well, they're 2 years removed from a Final Four.
It's like people forget about that.
Yeah, like they were just in the Final Four.
And it's crazy. It's like NC State just in the Final Four, and obviously that was
Will Wade's going to be huge.
That's going to be a good team.
That's going to be a good team.
Wade,
like,
yeah, I like that.
I think the ACC, the programs, I don't think they were thinking like, oh, let's make the ACC better. I think that
and Clemson's been good.
They just improved by who they hired, the kids that they brought in.
They're going to be better this year. There's no doubt about that. But I am excited about Memphis and Louisville playing each other. I think that's a rivalry we need. And it's definitely like cool, Pat Kelsey, Penny Hardaway. I really like that,
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. So,
as far as how I feel about it, I think it's sick. I think it's like fun. It makes the basketball season a lot more interesting because I don't like every other game we're playing Florida State than Boston College. Because after our non-con schedule was over, we did not play anyone good other than Kentucky.
But that was the way the ACC shaped up last year. It was just a lot of crap competition, and it doesn't it doesn't prepare you for anything going into March at all.
And along with Memphis, we scheduled a multiple-year series. I believe it's getting finalized today with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
I don't care about this as much. Cincinnati historically is not a good basketball program. I will say this. There's a football rivalry there. That used to be the Battle of the Keg of Nails or whatever it's called. There is a football rivalry there, so I do think that that's cool, but
Is Scott Satterfield still at Cincinnati for football? Is that his name, correct?
I think so.
Yeah, he is.
I'm not too sure, but I think so.
I would love to get them on the football schedule just to kick him in the mouth.
Well, when we played them in that bowl game, that was when I remember we found out Satterfield was going to Cincinnati, and we were like, well, we're about to play them. And Satterfield wasn't coaching either side because he sat out. Mm-hmm. And then Louisville just absolutely waxed them.
Killed them. So I don't really care about the Cincinnati series as much. Trent, do you have anything to hit on that?
Not really. I think it's just, maybe
Isn't that where Kirk
series.
Ariza just went?
Yeah, you'll play him next
So
year.
we'll play Kirk Ariza.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, okay.
See, here's the thing, though. You really never know in these basketball games. It's like even when we played EKU this year, it's
EKU's not a bad mid-major historically, though.
I took their money line.
I remember you were telling us.
We did not take them serious, but we got out of the game on a buzzer beater, so I'll take it.
Noah Waterman hit a big shot in that game.
Colgate, or whoever you are playing that one game, they were like tied with y'all.
They were tied with
you
y'all
never
after
know,
that. You just never
it's
know.
crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
And then to finalize the state of Kentucky, the city of Louisville today had some pain. Our kid, James Scott, is now a part of Hotty Toddy to Ole Miss.
That's now two
Following
former
Travis Perry.
in-state players going to Ole Miss.
I don't know what Chris Beard is doing,
and James
except
Scott.
causing pain and anguish for our fan bases. No one as a Louisville fan wanted to see James Scott go.
It's going to be pain watching them Travis Perry lobs to James Scott.
That's going to be pain. I'm sad about this. I wish he would have stayed even with the reduced playing time. However, kid's got to do what's best for him. Shout out to him for being able to go to an SEC school. Obviously, probably got a bag.
Yeah, I think so.
Nate, how do you feel about a Louisville player transferring into the SEC?
I don't really feel any way about it. It's just, we'll see. I mean, I don't even know what James Scott will do at Ole Miss. Will he start? Will he come off the bench?
No, I don't think he will.
Yeah, see, like him and Travis Perry off the bench. Like, it's kind of funny, but
I
think that's pretty good
pretty
off the
good
bench.
off the bench.
Off the bench,
Like,
though, I think that's good. Like,
James Scott was productive for us last year, and James Scott was productive for us last year, and he's not a very polished player yet. So if he can practice more and like really lock into his free throws,
I think he
his
needs to
jumper,
develop more physicality and more size.
Yes.
Like he's tall, don't get me wrong, but like if he can thicken out a little bit and get more physical.
he lost us the Creighton game.
Well, we had nobody to guard the guy that was 7'2".
Well,
that can
it's because
crack
James
three.
Scott has no physicality.
And I'm not even gonna blame that.
Draymond Green could guard Ryan Colquitt.
I'm not
He's
blaming
6'7".
that. They shot like 75% in the first half from
Yeah,
three.
they didn't
Like it was
miss.
unbelievable. So
That kid that had 30, next game had like 6.
yeah, yeah, I know. That was crazy. That was the third option.
We'll end it off with Louisville there. I'm excited for some of those matchups. I know Trent's excited. I know Nate doesn't really care, but it's a lot. It's a lot better for us considering we know we're going to be preseason top 25, and it's going to be a better tournament bid in my.
Well, I think with all the series and games we're trying to schedule before conference, I think that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build that resume up for March.
Yep, for sure.
So
moving into the NBA. Oh my gosh, Jalen Brunson is a hero in NYC. Nate, I asked you last pod. You swore up and down that the Knicks are live dogs. I don't even think they're dogs anymore. They're not underdogs at all at this point. Do they play tonight?
No, they play tomorrow.
They play tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Thunder play tonight, right?
Do you think this is over?
Something tells me it's not.
Oh.
But
Oh.
I do like the Knicks, coming back in both these games. But the Celtics shot the ball, very poorly. We talked about that a little bit in the last episode. I think that if the Celtics get Game 3, it gets really interesting. It puts a lot of pressure on New York. And then Game 4, if they tie it, then it's like, oh shit, you gotta go back to Boston. Yeah. So I wouldn't count the Celtics out until after Game 3. The Knicks can pull Game 3 off at home. It's gonna be, it's gonna be crazy. Like to get in that game tomorrow, it's like $1,200 to get in the door.
Oh, I know. I saw.
You know where you're playing at, though. That's why the ticket looks like that.
Nick Wright said, if this gets to a Game 6 in Madison Square Garden, that's probably the biggest game for the Knicks in the last 20 years.
Yeah, it is.
So,
and it's going to be, I think. Here's the thing.
Y'all hit on this. I'm going to go let them damn dogs in. Y'all good.
We keep going. But anyways, you've seen this before in the NBA. It's like these teams will get up 2-0, and the series is not over. And you know it. Like, especially because, like, you've seen where these teams come and win 4 straight. Mm-hmm. They come out and they win 4 straight, bro. And I think the Celtics could do it. Like, they have the skill and talent to lock in and go. They were up 20 in both of those games.
And that's what I'm saying. The regular season, they dominated the Knicks. I do want to see the Knicks win the series. I would love for New York to sweep them.
Right.
But I don't think it's realistic. I
wonder if Lucas's mic's getting picked up right now while he's letting the dogs out.
Yeah, I wonder, probably so. But here's the thing. It all comes down to the game tomorrow. I think that determines a lot.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's look at the Nuggets and Thunder. They tied it up 1-1. The Thunder absolutely dominated them. What'd you think?
We thought you brought your mic with you. We were like,
No.
I wonder if you were.
No, for those who know Rocky, he wouldn't shut up. Had to let him in. He was barking.
Yeah.
Going to war outside.
What were we talking? Nuggets Thunder?
Yeah, Nuggets Thunder.
Yeah, we just said that. Don't be surprised if the Celtics win 4 straight.
Oh, yeah. They're talented enough to do it, but are they going to miss 75 combined threes in the next 2 games?
I don't think so.
But
Chip on the shoulder.
Knicks in 5. Celtics will pull 1.
Crazy. I don't think so.
Nuggets Thunder.
Season 7.
I've been saying Nuggets in 7. I did not like the way the Nuggets lost the other night. However, I did like that Nikola Jokic went ahead and fouled out. People were giving him grief for that on the internet. He's thinking, guys. Like, he was trying to preserve himself. He knew there was no way they were coming back down from 43. So,
yeah,
I'm still going to roll Nuggets in 7. This is going to be a hell of a series, though.
I'm still going with Thunder, bro. Thunder 7, SGA. He's gonna have everybody around him playing well. They slipped up in the game 1, but they're gonna go into Denver tonight. They're gonna get the win, and then they're gonna go back home, and they're gonna go up 3-1.
Yep.
I
What do
don't
you
know,
think?
honestly. I think this.
We haven't got your picks for any of these series.
Well, I did. We did talk about it
Did we?
before the series started.
Okay, yeah.
I think you were all over the Pacers, whatever. And
He's
I mean,
right.
look at that. I mean, we're here. I did say that I thought the Pacers could get one in Cleveland, but they ended up getting two, which is even crazier.
Yeah, but Nuggets Thunder.
But Nuggets Thunder, God, man, I don't know because it's like you have that first game where the Nuggets look very, very good, and then you just watch that last game and it looked like the Thunder just blew them out of the water.
I didn't like that.
So it's hard for me to watch these series and determine it on game one because you can't. You can't even determine it after game two sometimes because it's like even when these teams go on the road and if they get these wins right back and like if the Celtics get these 2 wins on the road, it's like they're right back in it. And it's like everyone's going to be taking the Celtics. So you can't really sway it off the first 2 games. And I think, game 3 is like one of the most important pivotal games because it's like that gives you momentum,
Well, it's like 73% of the teams that win game 3 go on to win the series.
I think game 3 is a big turning point. And I think that the Thunder will win even in the altitude or whatever you call it.
Yeah, the altitude.
I think the Thunder have, more talent like they've shown all year. And if they play like they did the last time, I mean, I don't see how
Nobody
they
will
can lose.
beat them in the
Right.
NBA if they play like that. But you're not going to put games together back-to-back like that in the playoffs. It never happens.
Well, if your third option's going 2 for 10 from 3 and you're still beating teams by 40, I mean,
yeah. I don't know.
you know what I mean? You got Joe who's striping threes. You got Chet who's playing great, passing the ball great. Shea getting his buckets whenever he needs to. I mean, he's shooting 80% from the field, like barely missing. It's insane. It's hard to beat that team. So
Pacers Cavs we got tonight at our 7:30 window. Sheesh. Actually, before we do this prediction, we're going to hit on the T-Wolves game last night. T-Wolves tied the series with the Warriors 1-1 last night. Obviously, Curry didn't play. You could kind of tell from the start it was going to get really ugly.
Is he back next game?
No,
Out for a week.
He's out for a week at least, if not more. Yeah, it could get really ugly for Golden State. Nate, do you see a comeback plan? I guess is what I'll ask when it comes to the Warriors in these next 2 games that they're definitely not going to have Steph.
Yeah, I see a plan to where they are going to get one of the games or, like out of the next 2, they have to get 1.
Yes.
And then out of the next 3, they probably have to get 2. So I think if they can do that, there's a chance of Steph Curry coming back. And I think that the last game was a game to kind of figure it out, see what lineups you're going to throw in there, see who can play without Curry.
Right.
And so now this game, I think tomorrow is going to determine a lot. I do think the Warriors will come in ready, and I think they will win in Game 3. But it's just all going to depend on can Curry get back. Jimmy Butler will step up in Game 3.
He did not play good last night.
I know, but he will.
They're coming back home. And we know playoff Jimmy, like, don't get me wrong, he's had his good runs in the playoffs, so no Curry. You're going to have to imagine him shooting 25.
Well, who do you
shots
think wins Game 3? That's what I was going to ask you.
of the season?
They're in Golden State, but who wins Game 3?
I think the Timberwolves.
I do too.
I just think that Anthony Edwards is going to have a legacy game in Golden State. I think he's been waiting to go back to Golden State and play in Golden State. I mean, if you've heard him in some of the videos, he's like, I can't wait to play the Warriors. I'm so excited. And I know he hasn't had like the best games possible, but
Terrible games.
But I think this game is a perfect opportunity for him to bounce back and really just blow up and score 40 points. I think tonight is one of those games that he could just really blow up. So
They don't play
I mean,
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah, that's what I meant.
I'm taking Timberwolves in Game 3. Trent's taking Timberwolves in Game 3. Who you got Game 3, Nate?
Going Warriors.
Okay.
Nate's cooking us on the pick'em, so.
Oh, yeah. Nate, it's like Nate knows ball more than us right now.
Well, Jimmy does crazy things. They can win that game.
For Game 3 tonight, we did hit on Thunder Nuggets. I'm taking Nuggets tonight. Who are you taking tonight?
I'm going with the Thunder.
That's the game I was thinking tonight. Yeah, I'm going with Thunder.
I'm going Nuggets. Pacers, Cavs. All right.
Back to that.
The Cavs have a way bigger chance than the Celtics of coming back down 2-0, in my opinion.
Are they healthy?
Are they going to be healthy?
DG's playing tonight. And
He is
Mobley's
playing.
tonight.
They're both playing.
So I'm going to roll Cavs in this game 3. I do think it's going to be close, which is why you see the spread at 5.5 right now. It came out at 4, but it's moved to 5.5. So Vegas is obviously thinking, and based off the bets that most people are taking, Cavs are the favorites tonight. I'm taking Cavs. Are you still all over Indiana?
All over it.
Oh my God, bro.
I'm rocking with Tyrese and Siakam and Miles Turner and TJ McCollum, bro. And I think Indy's got it, bro. Like, I don't know. There's just something about it. I think it's their series. I don't think it's the Cavs time.
I feel the
You
energy.
go down 3-0 and you're the Cavs, you're just giving up at this point.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're not winning 4
Who
straight.
you got game 3?
God, I think this is a 1-possession game. Maybe I'm stupid for saying that, but I mean, the way the series is gone, even who's up by 20, it doesn't matter. It looks like they all come back at the end of the day and make it a close game. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton right there with that shot, and I know y'all touched on it that last pod. I mean, probably one of the best shots I've watched in the last 5 years. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, just to get the rebound.
Well, he got his own
step
rebound,
back out,
yeah.
and then hit a step back 3 in that intense of a situation when you were down
On the road.
20 and everyone's calling you overrated. I mean, I think
People
I'm
that
like-
think he's overrated are crazy.
I'm kind of like, okay, like I respect him now because it's like, I didn't know you were like that, brother. Like I didn't know you had game like that. And now I'm woke up and I've seen him play now, and it's crazy to watch, honestly.
People can say what they want about Tyrese Halliburton. If nothing else, he's 10 for 11 on game time or game winning shots. 10 for 11.
91%.
91% on game winning or game tying shots.
He wants the ball.
So he has something. He has something there that a lot of players don't have, that LeBron had in points of his career hasn't had. Curry in points of his career hasn't had.
Yeah.
He has something mentally where he's like, that shit doesn't rattle him.
Old heads wouldn't even talk about the shot. They'd talk about that offensive rebound and how great
Exactly.
that was
Like-
to get it over all those people in that paint.
I mean, he's a 6'5", 6'6" guard. Like, it's not like he's the biggest player out there. Grab it, ISO out. Like, he's different, bro. And people got to accept that he's really a top 5 point guard in the NBA.
But we're picking who's winning in the game tonight. So who winning the game tonight? And I think
Cavs, I'm taking Cavs.
that there is a chance that the Pacers could win this and make it 3-0. Now,
That's crazy.
the only reason I'm saying this is because the
so,
spread.
too.
I think the spread's weird. I don't understand it. I feel like it's going to be a 1-possession game, and I think that the Pacers could win it again. Now,
think they
I
win
don't
tonight.
know, but I think it's going to come down to the last second. And I'm going to go with my gut, though. I'm going to take the Cavs.
Yeah. I'm taking Cavs to win anywhere from like 4 to 8 points. Nate's got Pacers. Trent's got Cavs.
Cavs win by 3. That's what I got.
I don't know that the Cavs are going to lay down like that. But there's a double-edged sword to this series when it comes specifically to this podcast. As a Louisville fan, we've had to watch Donovan Mitchell kind of just – I hate to say this about him. He's kind of just proving his ceiling. He's probably not the best player on a championship team. And we've seen it in multiple playoff series.
I'd agree.
We've seen it in multiple playoff series now, and it sucks for me to say that because I love Donovan Mitchell.
It's like Devin Booker, bro.
It's Devin Booker,
They both
too.
can go get 70, but like they're not the best player on the championship team.
No.
I would say.
There's
Who
because
is, though? Who is?
Nikola Jokic.
Well, I mean, yeah, I understand.
Jason Tatum. They've won a
We gotta
chip,
stop.
bro.
We
I
gotta stop
can't,
talking.
I can't do this.
They
All right,
won a
guys,
chip.
we're going to wrap it up
Down
here.
0-2. They're down 0-2, but they won a chip. I'm just saying, like
He didn't even win the Finals MVP. And in this series, Jaylen Brown has been better. In the first round, Jaylen Brown was better.
You just said
okay,
Jason Tatum.
Jaylen Brown, either one of them. But
I'm taking Donovan Mitchell over Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are the
Crazy
most,
take?
are
Not
one
really.
of the most dynamic duos in NBA history. That's why they won an NBA championship. Not because one of them is if you're asking me who's better, I'm swaying Jaylen Brown.
Hear me out real quick. Who besides Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland is getting a bucket on that Cavs team?
Evan Mobley averaged 20 and won Defensive Player
I
of the Year.
understand that Evan Mobley is him.
Y'all
but
got
when,
some casual
Okay, but
takes
he's
there.
not on.
But
He's,
look
when
at
he's
those
not on the
Utah
court.
teams.
When
Look
he-
at those Utah teams.
Okay,
Exactly.
Okay, that's
he was
fair.
young. He was
That's
young,
fair.
yeah, but like
Yeah.
he had good squad.
He had
around
killers
him.
on
And
those
he had
teams.
Rudy
Joe
Gobert,
Ingles,
bro.
yeah,
Young Rudy.
buckets.
Mike
Jordan
Conley.
Clarkson,
Mike Conley,
buckets,
yeah.
man. Yeah,
Jordan Clarkson
real
wasn't in
championship
Utah
players.
yet, but
All
yeah.
Star Mike Conley.
Championship players for real.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
I'm
got
not
a
saying it's
championship.
crazy, but it's just
got
like
champ-
Donovan
players
Mitchell
around
has a
him.
better team in Cleveland than he did in Utah, and he still can't win a championship.
Okay, but he doesn't have Porzingis,
get the Eastern
Jalen
Conference
Brown.
Finals,
So Dan Gilbert, the Cavs owner, call LeBron James. What do I need to do to get you to Cleveland? I'll trade Darius. I'll trade Jared Allen. LeBron,
I'm
Donovan
coming
Mitchell,
home.
Evan Mobley.
Coming
That would
home.
be the most insane big three LeBron's ever been a part of.
Come home.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Bring back another chip to Cleveland.
Donovan
like
Mitchell and Darius Garland, they're not getting it done.
But-
We're going on 2 years of this.
I like Nimhard. I mean, he's been balling.
He has the highest playoff 3-point
He
percentage. of
literally
all
looks
time.
like a light-skinned Shea, and I might be crazy for saying that, but the way he's been playing, it's kind of crazy.
What did he just say, bro?
He's wearing that number 2 with the headband, and he's getting buckets, bro.
Light skinned shade.
Hey, look.
That's insane.
How
bro.
is that insane?
That's insane.
Bro, every time he shoots the
You
ball,
got
you
any
think it's
final
going
thoughts
in.
to wrap this up, Trent?
I don't think that's that crazy, bro. He's young. And he's not like a star player, obviously. But,
He's not Shea.
but he's a good
Bro,
player,
you're
bro.
retarded.
He's a good-ass player. You're telling me I'm an
You can't say
idiot,
that
bro.
word. You can't say that word.
Bro, you say I'm an idiot, bro.
might
You
have
just
cut
said
that.
Jason Tatum is the best player on his
Well,
team.
he's not Andrew
And he's
Nimhard.
not.
Nate, you got any final thoughts?
Nah, Trent got me on the.
Yeah,
I'm
no.
good off that.
Yeah,
Let's wrap.
We
Andrew Nimhard's a bucket.
we got a football episode coming today. We're gonna record it today. It probably won't get posted today. This will be posted today. It's been fun, guys. I mean, we're gonna see what happens in these playoff series. I have absolutely no idea how to calibrate
Don't sleep on Andrew
80,
Nimhard.
90% of these series.
Telling
The
you
only
now.
one I'm
He's a
pretty
bucket.
confident in at this point is the Pacers are going to beat the Cavs.
Yep.
So, with that being said, guys, it was fun. Love you guys. Keep subscribing, liking, commenting, all that stuff.
Thunder
We'll see you guys
7.
on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.